What's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about the icebreaker email. And the way I look at it is that when you meet somebody for the first time, you need some sort of an icebreaker. Same thing as DJing in a wedding or a corporate event. There's a lot of different things happening, right? People are in their own world, they're having their own conversation, they don't exactly know what's going on. Yet at an event, you would want to create an icebreaker which lightens the mood. And when you do that, people will open up, and then whatever guests are responsive to you, those are the ones that you double down on, and then you can play around with them more because they're more outgoing. And that's the way I look at it when it comes to an email. We're going to send an email with as much information as possible with a call to action so that the lead knows what the next step is. And the way this works is that you don't basically have your prices on your website, or maybe they're not fully committed to what your service is, yet how would you get somebody who doesn't know who you are committed to your service? And it all starts with the icebreaker email, and then of course you could put this into GoHighLevel and then have multiple follow-up emails. But the first email is the most important, as long as you have the same structure or game plan that I have. And basically how it works is somebody who doesn't know who you are would send you an email saying something like, send me some prices. And then what happens after that? Well, number one, you want to be really responsive. How fast can you be to get back to them? And what kind of prepared response do you have? Now, I have a whole list of different responses as it works through the chain of what somebody would do to book, right? As long as you're aware of where this person could be at, if they're a warm, cold, or hot lead. So with that in mind, I love these slideshows by Gamma. It helps me put these together really quick. So basically, this is what a icebreaker email looks like, my icebreaker email, and it has all the different steps in it. So if you want a copy of this, just drop me a line down below. But basically, it starts off with, hello from King Entertainment Events. Let's chat. I have so many questions. I just got your message. I want to make sure that I got back to you as soon as possible. We have DJs that will make you dance, lights that will set the mood, and photo booths to capture the moment. We make the packages based on the services that fit your style. Our clients are surprised by how affordable we are. We have more reviews on our Google. Check those out. Questions about services. We have a video that breaks down what all our services are. And then I warn them or told them in advance that I add them to our email list, so be sure to watch out for that. Again, we have custom packages based on what you're looking for, and then feel free to give us a call or set up a Zoom. So basically the way I look at this is that if somebody's going to have enough time to be invested into your business, then they're going to have enough time to want to go to that next step. And when you're dealing with, I don't know, 30 clients or 30 leads a day or so, how do you filter out what works out best for your business? So with the slideshow in mind, we have a step-by-step breakdown of how to start conversations that book events. The first thing in the email was the opening greeting. The message, hello from King Entertainment Events. Your greeting is your first impression, and it sets the tone for what's to follow. Keep it simple, professional, and welcoming. This approach opens the door without being pushy or overly salesy. A friendly, straightforward greeting immediately establishes credibility while making potential clients feel comfortable. It's not about being flashy, it's about being approachable. So, hello, what's going on? Talk to me. Let's get some more information type thing. And then the next part is, I have so many questions. So I really can't give you a full breakdown of what it is that would help you best unless you give me more information. So it says I have so many questions, which means I'm really interested to find out more about what you got going on if you have the time to share it with me. And then also drives curiosity. What else could there be? A lot of people that aren't in your world think that they're in your world, so they may not understand what services or what goes into the services that you provide. They may think, well, as a DJ, you're just up there pushing buttons. What really do you have going on? And you want to either get somebody on the right track to understand that you're doing more than just that. So they would want to take more steps to find out more about your service and who you are. So that's why you say, I have so many questions. Well, I can execute my services based on the answers that you give us. And that's how you build rapport, right? I'm giving you an olive branch to come reach out to me, and they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Any person that would be best fitted for your business would want to know more, or what's entailed, and how does this benefit me? Just remember, when anybody comes up to you, they're more worried about themselves than they are you getting into yourself, even though that you have to explain yourself to perform the service that you're providing. So by expressing genuine interest, you create a conversation rather than a transaction, right? This builds trust from the start. Up next, quick responses. Basically, for me, I have all these different email responses depending on where someone is in their chain, because basically someone's only going to ask you a certain amount of questions. And once you find out what those 5 to 10 questions are, you can just create responses on how you would want the lead to react. So basically the first email is check out all of the stuff that we have, and then if that's what sounds good for you, then you can schedule a call from our calendar, and you would want that person to commit in their mind that yes, I want to figure out more about what's going on here, rather than, well, here's our prices and then we'll never talk to you again. So service highlights, keep it punchy and your point across. And one of my favorite coaches, he would say, explain what you do like a 5th grader, so there's no room for confusion and everything is clear. So if a 5th grader can understand what you got going on, then odds are most other people will be able to as well. So I'll move my head over here. Boom, put it right over here. Sweet, look at that. All right, so in the letter it says, well, we have DJs that make you dance, lights that set the mood, and photo booths to capture the moment. Now, it's one thing to say that you have these services, but how does it benefit me? That's why you put the 2. I have lights to set the mood. I have photo booths to capture the moment, DJs that make you dance. All of those different things break down into somebody. Well, they have these things, and that's how it benefits me. So expert mixing and crowd reading skills that keep your guests on the dance floor all night long, lights that set the mood, setting light designs that transform any venue into an unforgettable atmosphere. Now, you don't need to say all these things. It's up to the interpreter to realize what that means to them. All you had to do was open the door, and then you can explain more on a consultation call. And then, of course, photo booths to capture the moment, interactive entertainment that creates lasting memories and keeps guests engaged. My head again. Boom. All right, so custom package and affordability. So in there I said we make custom packages based on kind of budget that you have. And then we also have the line in there that says our clients can't believe how affordable we are. So it's still like once they get quotes from other people, they're like, oh, well, I at least want to give this guy a shot because I don't know what he means by that. And that's kind of the intrigue that you want with somebody. So this powerful one-punch addresses 2 of the biggest concerns event planners have, right? Finding a vendor who understands your unique vision and staying within budget. Why this works: reduces price anxiety, emphasizes flexibility, creates intrigue, and positions you as collaborative. So you want to address affordability up front while emphasizing customization. You remove barriers to the conversation. Oh, this guy's pretty easy to work with. We should probably schedule a Zoom. That's the whole point of the whole letter. We should schedule a Zoom. And then just remember, just because you sent one email doesn't even mean that the person got it. So that's why we have workflows inside of GoHighLevel that will send text as well, because some Gmail was what I found. Gmail will put some company email addresses inside of a promotional folder, and if you have the Gmail app, then they'd have to click to the promotional folder to find out all the other emails that you were sending them. And that's why within GoHighLevel we have a text as well that says, hey, look, make sure to check either your spam or your promotionals folder to make sure you've been getting the we've been sending out to you. So you hit them with the text and the email. And basically, social proof is one of the most powerful tools in your sales arsenal. Think about it like this. If you've ever tried to buy a service and somebody came up to you and they were like, oh, you should go with this guy. This guy's amazing. That's already like checked off so many questions that you have in your brain about whether or not you want to go with the service because someone who you trust said go with this person. So the second best thing to that is a Google review. People that you don't know talking about the services that they haven't yet purchased. And then also within GoHighLevel, you can set up automatic emails to go out to collect more Google reviews. So just keep that in mind. Depending on how competitive your market is, somebody who's going to give you a call is going to be based on a multiple of different data points. Like how many Google reviews do they have? How long have they been in business? Are they responsive to my emails? So if you have copied responses, kind of what I have here, then you'll be able to be more responsive, faster times. And then I've even dealt with corporate clients that are like, I can't believe you got back to me so fast. And then, of course, we also have ChatGPT for engines. Like you can create like an assistant that remembers most of your responses are. So if you get alterations to emails that come in and like you want to add some information, if you've already got a gem in Gemini or a GPT in ChatGPT, it'll most of your information respond how you want it to. And it basically on how you train the AI to answer which makes most sense. to your service. We have a value video, so you can click on our service breakdown video and it'll explain most of the services that we offer, and it's professionally made, which in turn sends a interview video to anybody that comes in to my funnel or comes into my workflow. So they say something like, well, what are your prices? Are you available? And I say, well, yeah, to talk to you about your event, check out this video, see if everything works for you. And that's in the email as well, a little bit further down. Like all this information, like it could be dumping too much information onto somebody, but yet it's all still there. And you'll find the more customers that you have, sometimes they read emails, sometimes they don't. And that's why we send this out multiple times to make sure that they got it. But you have the video that explains the services, which is questions about our services. Check out this video and explains what the services are. So basically that puts you on the same page when we sit down for a consultation call, because you're always forward thinking to the next step. Move my head over here. Up next, stay connected, setting expectations and follow up. So I also told them that I was going to add them to my email campaign. So make sure to check out different emails that we're sending out. And it's a follow-up strategy, because as much as I would like somebody to book off of one email, that's just probably not realistic. It's going to take quite a few times for someone to want to book with your service, and it's all done with the follow-up. It's going to take 12 to 18 hit points for somebody to want to book with your services, depending on your market, depending how sellable you are, depending how responsive you are, and how much information that you put forward based on the services that your lead is looking to get, right? So you can do a lot of things within GoHighLevel, and then of course you can connect your calendar, and then you schedule Zoom calls with a calendar that's already linked into your GoHighLevel account. And then once they call in, right, they could call you through the phone, right, if you're able to answer the phone, or if you have an AI service to answer your phone, and that can schedule Zoom calls for you automatically. Again, my Zoom calls are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which makes the most sense. Yet they can still call the office number and then get in touch with whoever's answering the phone at that time. Very rarely do they have to leave a voice message, but it's a work in progress. Yet we catch most everything that comes in. Yeah. And then, of course, the personal touch at the end. Boom. Move my head over here. I say something like, cheers. Hope you have a great day. We'll be in touch. If this works out for you, we'll schedule a Zoom call for you. And again, it looks like this. Feel free to give us a call, which the phone is always open, right? Or you can click our calendar link and schedule a Zoom call appointment so we can have some more one-on-one FaceTime. So what I've found is that I've been able to build my business with this strategy, with all the content pieces that I have that connect to this one Icebreaker email, which have worked out great for me. Yet there's another video that I have on the YouTube channel where I just hop on a Loom and do something recorded like this, and that has gotten me some great responses as well, because I can show them on a screen, they can check it out, I can see how many times they viewed it. And one way to keep in touch with somebody with email marketing, and then of course the Loom for any of those one-off emails that you get that are like, oh, I'm thinking about having a party. Okay, well, let me hop on a Loom real quick, show you how to schedule a Zoom, or you could give us a call, because normally they won't give you all the information. They're like, how much is a part? How much do you charge for a party? And it's like, well, what's the date? How many hours? What kind of event is it? How many people are showing up? Would you like up lights? These different questions. And I'm sure with any service in the service-based industry would have similar type of questions. And then of course you can have copied canned responses that you could just shoot out to anytime you get an email, so that you wouldn't be bogged down with having to re-audition every time you don't know somebody. Like, you just have a system already set up, and it's kind of like, it turns into a contract signing factory at that point. So guys, if you do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. If you like some more information on how I'm able to run my business, again, I grew it 370,000 or something like that last year. I broke last year's sales records, and we're in just hit October, so which is kind of exciting. And if you want to learn how I was able to build it all, I have a GoHighLevel affiliate, or you can get a sub account under me and I'll set it up for you. Drop me a line down below. All right, thanks.